So this morning we thought what we'd do is a bit of a sort of road test. Now, there's been all these road tests done on Trident, but they've been in sort of Tenerife and, you know, nice roads and lovely scenery and all that, which is great. But what me and Amie thought we'd do a bit of a commute to Manchester. So we thought we'll leave Blackburn nice and early. Traffic's just building brilliantly. We'll do a bit of in traffic, a little bit around the city centre, then we'll pop into the Manchester shop for a brew, have a bit of a natter about the bikes and give you our feedback on what we think of them. We've got two Tridents obviously, but one is in A2, so we're also going to be able to give you a bit of a direct comparison on an A2 bike, restricted, and a full power version, which is this one. So it should be quite an interesting ride. Yeah, here we go, we're just leaving Blackburn down Pendle Street, and then we're sort of coming out through the town centre of Blackburn now over the top near Shadcliffe, and we're just sort of coming into a bit of traffic round and roundabout, watching what's going on. I'm in front there, Amie's filming me. Nice and easy around this roundabout, watching that bit of dampness. Yeah, all feels good. There's the beehive, just watch the white car, didn't even need to put my feet down there, just straight through it. Really easy to handle and feels good. Just that bit of white stuff there, no problem with that right down there. Pulling away, we're now coming up over the Graham Road, which is a nice road actually. It's a lovely bit of lovely view there, looking out over that countryside. Absolutely fantastic. And Amie was just sort of messing with the moulds here on her light. I believe she was watching where she was going as well. There's a pull onto motor. Pretty hard here, pull away really nice and firmly. Decided to do a bit of swap over here, so we're swapping from the restricted bike. So I'm on the restricted bike, Amie's on the unrestricted bike, just to sort of compare the two back to back, and really obviously superb to be able to switch from one to the other, because you get that direct comparison when you're out riding.
I'd be able to see what the difference is. It sounds awesome.
There we go. Coming down the M66 here, so we're now actually on the motorway. We've gone from the A56 to the M56. So traffic's just starting to get a bit heavier. Not as, not absolutely mad busy. I would imagine pre sort of lockdown that would have been queued all the way there. There's just an odd spot of rain, you can just see it on Amie's visor there. Plenty of waft in that, plenty of waft to come past. And we're right sort of on the motorway now.
It's alright. You can tell a difference, but not that much. Yeah, you still got a lot of control on the throttle, it's not laggy or anything. It's good. I've never ridden a restricted bike before, so I didn't know what it was like.
So, we're just about to come on to the M60, around the roundabout there, at Sinister Island. We're just having a bit of a chat. And the traffic's getting a little bit busy now. It's more like a proper commute really. We're trying to simulate that using the bike for commuting, which gives you a feel of what it's like. So plenty of room, squeeze through there nicely, loads and loads of room, dead easy. I'm just watching for Amie there, making sure she's behind me. Keeping a quick tip in the mirrors, observing what's there. One thing that's absolutely superb on this bike is these self-cancelling indicators. They're just, how many times have they left their indicator on and you're sending the wrong signal out, aren't you, to everybody on the road? Well, these they just seem to be turning themselves off at sort of the right time, perfectly. Obviously, trying to set up the electronics on that, absolutely superb. Plenty of power just to pull away from the traffic lights, just to keep yourself that bit of space around. Just want a bit of space when you're commuting, you've got to watch for everybody. Just push through the traffic a little bit here, but in before the zigzag lines. Just nipped in there.
Again, you've just got that. There's no point commuting on a bike and sitting at the back of the queue. You need to get to the front. That's the idea. The idea is to get there without putting yourself in too much danger. So try never to be the meat in the sandwich. That's the answer. Coming down into the city centre here. Our building's on the left. No signs on it yet, but there it is on the left, just coming up. We're just about to. We're well on with the refit, so we're quite early because there's sort of somebody there working. That's good. And we just thought we'd have a bit of a play in the city centre itself. So coming right into the city now, so that we get a feel of it in the really sort of dense traffic. Again, just find that bit of a gap and into the front. Which is what a motorbike's all about, isn't it? It's that freedom, just get in there when you want to be there. Let's watch these guys. Behind them. We're just near the end of Deansgate here. Amie was just filming me go through the junction. So you can see that's literally that city centre environment. It's just at home. It's absolutely loving it there. Absolutely loving it. Again, back through. We decided we'd nip down to Castlefield, do a few shots for sort of Instagram and things like that we've got. So some quite iconic bridges there that it was nice just to do a little walk around. And we always say, if you're having a demo bike, park it up, stand somewhere and have a look at it, walk around it, have a feel of it. Just appreciate it, because let's be honest, it's a piece of art, isn't it? That's a piece of art. That's something special, you know. That's a lot of. That didn't just happen. Somebody sat down and thought about that and created it. Just like that bridge behind it. That wasn't just a bridge. Look, somebody thought about that bridge, as they did with that motorbike. It's got a bit of presence about it. I'm glad I'm on the bike and not the train that's going ahead. Overhead. Here we are, just near the Midland. I think it's near the library in the Midland Hotel, that, isn't it? So we're just going through there and waiting for the tram to pass. And there we go. See, we're far better on the bike. A couple of cyclists. There we go. Absolutely brilliant. So, we've arrived in Manchester. We've had a little bit of a play in the city centre, really, just to put some iconic buildings into the shots, and that's so that people know where we've been, and just to give it a bit of a thing. So, first
using them as proper commuters.
Absolutely, proper commuters. So a bit of over the tops road, Grain Road.
Yeah.
A56, M56, bit of M60.
Yeah.
A56 coming back into Manchester,
yeah.
Right through, cut through the city centre. Bit of filtering. You know, my thoughts are, what a bike for commuting on.
It is brilliantly light. It's really easy. It's really confident on it. If you get into a bit of a tight spot, it's really lightweight to manoeuvre around. Even for me, being quite short, I found it really easy to ride.
I rode a street Triple RS yesterday, so I'm back to back really on the two bikes, which is quite good really. You do get that back to back sort of feeling of it. And the RS, although much more focused, it probably isn't quite as good for commuting, if I'm absolutely honest with you.
A little bit twitchy.
Yeah. It's a bit firmer on the suspension. The suspension's good on the Trident.
I've heard it's not as solid.
Not just quite as. Yeah, you probably. I mean, the RS are probably better on the track.
Yeah.
A couple of things I noticed with you behind me was how bright the headlamp is.
Yes.
That was like in the mirror.
It catches your eye really quickly.
It's good for commuting, isn't it? Because that's first time driving, all that sort of thing.
You want to be seen.
You absolutely. Heated grips would have been a definite extra.
You would. I would have enjoyed that.
Yeah, like handguards and heated grips. But anyway, there we go. So that would have been definitely plus. The ease of riding it around, just sort of. You sort of need to think where it wants to go, and it just sits on the road brilliantly.
Yeah.
It's a couple of white lines.
It's big enough on the road to hold its own. You're not riding something that's physically small, so you feel like you're being pushed around. It's a good size, I think. Easy to manoeuvre around.
Really interesting. A2 and a standard one. We switched from Well, through the
swapped from the other, yeah.
times. What do you think?
Well, I've never ridden a restricted bike before, so it was quite a brand new experience for me. Instantly you couldn't tell the difference, but as you were pulling away from traffic lights, you could tell a little power difference. But I think it was quite good, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I've ridden the Street S that was restricted.
Yeah.
And that's just a physical restriction.
Yeah.
And it just felt strangled, really,
Yeah.
and not right.
Well, I
Whereas
didn't-
that, the key to that difference to me is this fly-by-wire. Because obviously what you've got there is...
It's instant, isn't it?
Yeah, and as you're opening throttle, you know, it's, the ECU is thinking, well, it doesn't just go, oh, I've got loads of air, so I need more fuel. It's like, oh, it's open throttle, I need more air, I need more fuel. And it increases, puts those into the throttle bodies at the correct amount and the right...
You're not waiting for
yeah,
it.
exactly, there's no lag.
Yeah.
So, Mega was an A2 bike, absolutely Mega. If you want an A2 bike, I mean, relative to competitors, it's just going to be just blown out the water.
It feels like you're riding a nice piece of kit.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't feel plasticky. It doesn't feel, oh, that gear changes a bit. Everything was silky smooth.
Bang on.
There was one time where I was in a false neutral, but that was my fault at the traffic lights. But other than that, it was effortless and really easy to ride. I've not ridden for a couple of months, so getting back on a bike for the first time in the spring, it was an easy bike to come back on.
That's good, isn't it? That
Yeah.
is good. Yeah, definitely, yeah. And the finish, the build quality
Definitely.
is, I mean, obviously, it's not Speed Triple RS,
No.
you know, because it's not Speed Triple RS Prax, is it?
No.
They built it to a budget, but they haven't, they've tailored to get in the price point,
Yeah.
but they haven't cheapened it. That's
No.
the thing. That's the thing. Still the Triumph brand. It's still a Triumph through and through. Do you think of anything bad to say about it?
The only thing for me is I didn't find the menuing system. The menuing system was different to the other Triumphs.
Right, so you weren't
So
used to it.
I just need to spend a little bit more time getting used to the menuing system.
I noticed, which probably most people wouldn't notice, is when you sat in it, and while sat in it, the tank sort of comes round you quite a bit, and I feel like you've got a lot of protection. Now, it wasn't raining this morning, there was a bit of dampness, but it wasn't, a few spits, but it wasn't really raining.
No.
But it just feels to me like you get a lot of protection from that tank. So, with a little screen on, a lot of protection from the tank, bingo, you're off.
I'm used to riding sports
Yeah.
bikes with a screen, so for me to go onto a completely naked bike with no screen, I actually didn't struggle.
Yes.
Sometimes on naked bikes you get like the neck burn and the arm burn trying to keep hold on the
Yeah.
motorway, but I didn't have any of that on the Trident, which with a GoPro on I was expecting a bit
Yeah,
of,
of course, yeah,
and I
yeah.
didn't get any,
Yeah.
so...
So I think the verdict is, we've got a demo, come down and have a ride on one. If you're interested in a Trident, I think you'll have yourself absolutely blown away with that bike.
Yeah.
I am really, really impressed with it.
Me too. I like the look of it and now I want one even more.
And I tell you what, Amy, I think we should do that again. I think we've enjoyed that this morning, and I think hopefully it'll be good feedback for people who are in your bike.
Definitely.
Yeah. These self-cancelling indicators are absolutely fantastic. It's just one of those things I really hate leaving an indicator on.